and I do aviation marketing with ABCI, and our mission is to help aviation companies sell more of their products and services.
Hi, I'm Debbie Murphy. I'm the Vice President of Marketing for Jet Brokers, and we help our clients buy and sell jets and turboprops.
Wonderful. I'm familiar with Jet Brokers. That's great. My name's Eli Stepp, and I provide field service rep services for aviation maintenance tracking company, but I also have a small business aviation consulting company and co-owner and co-publisher of BizAvJets USA magazine.
Ah,
great.
Well, I'm familiar with that.
Thank you.
It is. It's a great publication, and it looks like we have one more joining us, so we'll handle that as needed. All right, and we'll loop in and let Mohammed introduce himself in just a moment. So, yeah, the 10X rule and Grant Cardone. This is a really new thing for me. I had not read anything by Grant Cardone up until this point. And so it was kind of a new exposure for me. And I was actually really impressed. I'd just seen sound bites and quotes and things on the internet. And of course, he does a lot of those kinds of things. Great. So, jumping into the book, I think Felicia did a really good summary of this in our online book club. She went chapter by chapter, and I think that was really, really helpful for me. I started reading the book and I switched to the audiobook because, frankly, reading the book was kind of making me crazy because it was kind of repetitive. But then when you started listening to him, it became a totally different experience. I don't know if you guys did the audio or how you felt about all that. But.
I read the book and I didn't finish it because I found it repetitive.
Yeah.
So I skipped it.
I did the audio.
Yeah. You did the audio? Yeah, the audio.
I did the audio, yeah.
That was better.
Yeah, and it's read by the author.
I'll have to try that.
And the audio has a few tidbits that the written book doesn't.
Right.
And he says that during it too.
Yeah, and I think honestly, the content of this entire book or the entire experience was really more about energy than it was about information. And that's probably why the audio worked so much better, because sometimes you want the book because you want to go back to the diagrams, you want to go back to some quotes and things like that. With this particular book and with Grant Cardone in particular, I think you have to kind of listen to his voice in order to get, what I was doing is I was listening to this while I was working on graphics and other things. And it was just like, holy cow, I need to get my butt in gear, and it was really a very motivational, very effective at being motivational in audio. And it wasn't when I was just reading it. So that's a cool thing. Do you want to go around and maybe talk about some of your favorite or least favorite things about, and I know, Eli, you've been to some of his live events. How was that experience?
I have been. I'll kind of address the book first and then talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that opened my mind about this particular book is really to think big.
Yeah.
You always hear that and everything, but the audio version, it's like, I'll swear, write it down every day. You think big, not little, So that was one that affected me the most, to be honest with you. And it is a motivational book, and I didn't go through each chapter before today's meeting, so I'm just kind of going on memory.
Oh yeah, totally.
I've listened to it about 3 times, and and he's got several other good books as well. But that really going and it's one of those things that he goes in every morning and every night and writes down his goals, and he's writing them, and then that kind of leads him to act on those goals.
Right.
So what it made me do is I'm doing that same thing. And what I found out when you first start, for about 14 days, you're just writing stuff, but between 14 and 21 days, your mind kind of turns a little bit and you're thinking, I talked to somebody recently and it kind of related to this.
Right.
And And, you know, I mean, we could go down the manifestation road a little bit, but there is something to it. You know, that you do it and then things start happening. And I kind of jokingly call it what I call the action, attraction, reaction, realization. And basically the action is you're reading a book, you're gathering information, and you seem to attract some things that come to you, but you have to react and do something with what you attract, you know. So anyway, but going to his events, now I got to be honest with you, they're very proud of their events. They're not cheap.
Right.
And he's very proud of like his Cardone University sales training, and you know, he's got several different entities. But I tell you, the best, and I've been to Growth Con, which is the big one he does every year. I've done it twice. The best thing, I mean, they've got great information, and you know, you can learn a lot of things. But he's really an expert at gathering quality people.
Yeah.
And not just the speakers, but I mean, like the first year, you know, Drew Brees was there. Both guys from Shark Tank was there. You know, just a lot of people were there. Mm-hmm. But the people that you had lunch with, and there's a synergy going on, that you make some contacts, and you may not even do business together for a while. But one of them that I met, we've become partners at a small investment thing in Vegas, and we're still in the infant stages. But you know, so anyway, that he seems to have a synergy going around him, so that kind of hopefully explains the live events a little bit.
Yeah, so that birds of a feather and that networking is really part of the experience. It sounds like that's you know, these are positive thinkers and you know, people that you want to be doing business with.
Exactly.
Right, exactly. Ali, welcome. I'm glad you made it.
Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Yourself?
Thank you very well. How's it going?
It's going really well. We just did introductions, so you know, those will be recorded and things like that. But I think you may know Debbie Murphy from Debt Brokers. And
hello, nice to see you.
Right.
Nice to see you too. Thank you.
And Elijah Stepp from BizAvJets USA, and he's also an investor and part of our group. So and he's been to Grant Cardone events. The rest of us just read the book.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Excellent. So, you know, a couple of the things that I took away from it, and I did the same thing. When I started listening to the audio, it became a different experience. And I was kind of listening to it for, I was trying to listen to at least a chapter a day. So it ended up being about a 14-day period. And it did start making more sense after, I would say the second week, you know, like you said. And, you know, it is very repetitive, but the fact that you're listening to it in audio, that doesn't bother you so much. And you start to go, you know what, I need to start thinking along these lines. And what I've been doing during this time, during this 14-day period, specifically is building our team and starting to think about, we need to do a team meetings. I need to be spending less time doing graphics and doing this and doing that, and more time doing sales, because that's what's going to grow my business. You know, how do I make my business 10 times bigger? This is what I need to do to get that done. And I happen to be going through that process right now. And there are no coincidences, right? So, you know, happening to meet people like Ali, and of course, you know, the people that we're working with, and going, you know, we really should be structuring this in a way that we could be 10 times the size that we are and keep the same quality. And there's no reason we can't do that, other than my own mind, which has kept us, you know, I have to control the quality. I have to control this. I have to control all this. And, you know, I mean, Ali will tell you, I've been just a crazy control freak over the last several months, as far as, you know, some of the things that we're putting together.
Very much true. I have been working with you since a couple of months, and the main thing I got from you, the quality is very, you can say, necessary for the clients as well, because there is no compromise on the quality from the client sides as well, because they are giving us the business as well. So I also prefer, because I also own a social media management company, in-house social media management company. I have 3 to 4 team members in a house who are, you can say, supporting me in graphics and business development as well. But my also focus is to, you can say, build a client relationship and provide a more quality work, as we are doing with you as well. So there is no compromise on that. And I receive a lot of notes from you, and I really appreciate, because we have been doing business with, you can say, several clients in the, you can say, social media management agency, just like, you can say, real estate, crypto, NFTs. But aviation is a little different. And what I, you can say, would like to add some, you can say, two more points, that working with you, I just noticed and realized that aviation industry also needs some boost in social media, because they are. I'm sorry if
I agree with you.
It's because there is a low presence, and the low, you can say, their message are not coming very well from the, you can say, aviation side industry, who are the privates, who have some, you can say, jets or some sort of training institute. They have the very low, you can say, spending on the marketing sides. If they want to grow in this 2022, so they have to, you can say, spend more on the marketing side and the social media side, because everyone in the morning started to, you can say, scroll down the, you can say, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, what's going on around the world. And if they get the right message from the, you can say, reputable, you can say, aviation industry, or some private jets industry, they will definitely, you can say, look into their profiles and make booking reservations for their personal travels or anything else. And coming back to the quality side, yes, there are a lot of people who, you can say, don't, you can say, counter the quality, but aviation industry, I think, have the more, you can say, core role in the quality side, because if they produce low quality, definitely they will lose the sales as well.
Definitely.
So they are marketing themselves because of the sales. If they get the right marketing, they will get the right sales as well. So you are the most, you can say, prominent and the good leader in this industry. You combined all of us in a one platform, you can say, where we are all delivering, and you can say, making each other, you can say, familiar with networking as well. And we are growing and learning a lot from you as well, because aviation in aviation industry, you have the vast experience. Since 15 years, you are working as a, you can say, consultant and marketing strategist as well. So I am learning day by day a lot, and I would also like to, you can say, make some network connections also with some other people who are working in the aviation side and the graphics sides. And I look forward to, you can say, working in the long-term collaboration with you as well, and the clients as well. And I'm thankful to you and the other, you can say, members to, you can say, having me here to, you can say some words. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. And, you know, if there is one person to watch in the industry as far as quality of graphics, I don't know if this is going the right direction, depending on which way I'm going. But Debbie is the master. You know, she does graphics for jet brokers, and she does fantastic infographics where she puts a whole bunch of information in a very small space. And she's been doing it for a number of years and things like that. So, you know,
and I don't actually look at other aviation folks for my inspiration.
Mm-hmm. You look outside. You look at other industries. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's who our clients are.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there are some people who are aviation people who are our clients, but we're selling planes to owners. I mean, sometimes they're aviation businesses. Sometimes they're just businesses or high net worth individuals. So.
Right. But, you know, the graphics that you put together, I think, you know, are really setting the standard, you know, because as Ali said, you know, in the industry, there is not really, there are some companies that are doing a really nice job of quality of their images, you know, super sharp, branded, consistent, meaningful, relevant images and things. But, you know, when it comes back around to, we can't, you know, and the lesson that I took from the Grant Cardone book is I cannot be spending the kind of time that it takes to produce that kind of quality and grow the business at the same time. So, that was kind of my message here is, how am I going to make my business 10 times bigger? If it takes me 1 year, if it takes me 5 years, I cannot do that doing what I'm doing now. And that's a hard lesson. And it's hard to listen to. It's hard to hear. But I think he does a nice job of communicating that.
It's good to figure out a new way to solve your problems.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to have an increased goal, you cannot do the same thing you were doing.
Right.
So you either have to change the method of your working, or, hire people to help you or something,
Right.
Doing
Exactly.
the same thing is certainly not going to increase your business, your sales.
Right. One thing I've seen, Eli, that you're doing is, not just motivating yourself, but you're motivating other people. How has that impacted your business? You kind of taken his baton and are passing it along to other people.
Well, I'm trying. Thank you for your comments. I'm finding out, I'm attracting some business, to doing some motivational things. I have a journal I put together called Abundant Prosperity Traits. It's basically just 7 affirmations on what I call, freedom, gratitude, confidence, happiness, positivity, improvement, and enjoyment. And I'm sharing those. I just started sharing videos about it, but I'm getting some good traction on people responding. And what I'm finding out is and I've been saying these for about 5 years, to myself. I'm finding out I should have shared it, because you're a little embarrassed to share a little bit. If you're, because what are they going to think and everything? And it's like, I would encourage everybody, just get out of your shell and start doing it.
Right.
And because I'm finding I'm getting much more gratification if somebody responds, or I felt like, I kind of motivated them in some way. And I will say Cardone's good about that too. And some of his other books, I mean, be awesome. I forget, it's called something, be awesome or be average, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Great message in that book. And, so I've tried to take some of that and put that together. And I'm also finding that people like to connect in a way, and then I call it the indirect success. Where you meet and then you start talking, you connect in a certain way because they like something you said, or you liked what they said. And then it turns into a relationship that turns into maybe a connection that you can do business together.
Right.
And so I'm trying to do that. I appreciate you mentioning it. Thank you.
Yeah. Another thing, I guess, if Dave Santo, he runs Aerostar, which is one of the flight schools that we work with. It's not enough to read something in a book. What he does is he does what they do in the medical industry, and he's applied it to a flight school. Basically you see one, do one, teach one. And if you've done those 3 things, then the material. And so, I mean, it's one thing to read a book, and everybody reads these books and they just kind of nod along and they go, oh yeah, I knew that. But it's a different thing when you take out your pen, and I've been doing this for a long time because I'm, kind of a Franklin Covey nerd, and write down your goals.
Nice. Yeah.
Like physically, there's something about that that's different than putting it into my computer.
I have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's how you learn to manage your time.
Yeah. And I don't know if that's because I'm old, because I grew up writing with a pen. And, so that is how important things go in here. Things that are not confirmed yet, or things that are, in the future, whatever, those go on the computer. But for the next day, I write down my appointments that are confirmed. And I write down the goals that I actually have and I'm going to accomplish. And it becomes real when I use pen. And I'm not sure what that magical thing is, but that's one of the things that he recommends. And I think Stephen Covey and a bunch of other people that we've been reading do the same thing. I don't know if you guys have any methods that you employ from that.
I do a similar method, but I used to write down my goals on Monday.
Okay.
From Friday, I write them down so that it's like, and I look at that the rest of the week. I don't write them every day, So
Okay.
I have a sheet that I look at. It does help me, like the things I really want to accomplish.
Yeah.
That kind of makes me do it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I also have a real methodology of what I do every day.
Yeah.
And so that's how I get a lot of work done. 'Cause I don't spend a lot of time thinking about how I'm going to do it.
And you 10x things by batching. You figure out, this is what I need to do. And you do those batches in a way that saves you a ton of time. So you get 10 times the results with one time.
I had to learn because I am older. And when I started in this business doing marketing, we did print marketing. Yeah. Sometimes you did email marketing, but there was no social media to be done or websites either. So I had to learn to take the print way we did marketing and get into pieces that people could digest in shorter periods of time and share more often. So that's kind of what I do. Figure out the big picture, and then I feed it all into all those other things.
Yeah.
It's actually easier for me because I did it the other way, because I understand the big picture. I look at it from that point of view still.
Right. And you've modified that to use the technology to 10 times what you were doing before. Right.
And it's great. The technology helps.
Yeah, it does.
Very much helped a lot. There is a lot of tools, just like we are using the Basecamp. It's one of the wonderful tools we are using for the project management as well. And for the scheduling, we are using very good tool as well. So we have, you can say, less effort and the quality work and on-time work as well.
Right. So we're using Basecamp for project management and usually using Meet Edgar for scheduling. I know you can schedule directly from Canva. I've not had as much luck with that as well, but anyway, there's lots of ways to do. And even if you're doing copywriting, if you're doing websites, if you're doing sales, I'm batching my sales activities so that I'm doing LinkedIn outreach is one of the things, using our prospecting workshop outlines. The first step is a LinkedIn outreach, where I research somebody and then I reach out to them on LinkedIn. And I have this nice little notepad where I have my basic message and then I customize the first paragraph and I paste it out there and I hit send and I go to the next one and I read about them and I customize that first paragraph and I hit send. I don't use the robots because I think there's way too much spam in the world. For prospecting and for sales in the aviation industry. I get so many messages wanting to sell me an airplane that is completely, they don't know who I am.
Irrelevant, right? Like you figure it out.
Or Bitcoin, or something. But
it's always a crypto, right?
Yeah. And which is really sad because crypto is great. There's a lot of things about it that are fantastic.
I don't think we're going to sell airplanes by email messages or little messages in social media. It takes a lot more touches.
Yeah, and especially if it's
to trust you.
Like, I'm parting out a Super Puma or something, and I'm getting a message on my LinkedIn that somebody is parting out a Super Puma, and I'm like, okay, if I had that particular type of helicopter and I were interested in your parts, then that would be cool. But the targeting is just way off, and you can tell it's just robots, and that's
you can tell they haven't done any research.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Eli, did you have any particular techniques that you found for sales or marketing that you've?
Well, in all honesty, and in some ways, I'm just getting going as far as because I started the consulting business. Yeah. And it's been more through the physical networking, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I have, connected with people on LinkedIn, like a finance type, local to Las Vegas. Said, hey, I'd like to kind of talk to you and have lunch. So I did. Not that I was really interested in changing my financial investment portfolio, but then he introduced me to a gentleman named Jordan Adler, who is the author of Beach Money.
Right.
And he's very successful. And, that turned into us chartering a Falcon 2000 to go to Los Angeles and back just for fun with a group.
Oh, fun.
And we did that. And I didn't make money on it. It was break even type of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm finding out the personal touches through LinkedIn more than the other social media, and acknowledgement back and forth. And just like has already been mentioned, is, it takes a few touches. And so basically that's what I'm doing, is networking directly with individuals with soft touch to begin with, and see where it goes. And I do have kind of a trust in the universe or whatever about if it's meant to be, this person and I are going to connect in a certain way and go from there. And I would like to grow faster. Don't get me wrong. I want to explode and all of those things. But, so because on LinkedIn, I love to connect with, I'm probably just wanting too many connections, but if they look halfway respectable, I connect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I want to tell some of them though, because as soon as I connect, they come back with the sales pitch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, that's not what you want to do here. I know you may have this. Do you have time for a minute or a presentation? And it's like, you just met me. So I'm trying not to do that myself.
Yeah.
You wonder if they've ever done networking in person.
Right.
If you walk to a person that you've met in an event and they immediately threw a sales pitch at them, they'd turn around and walk away from you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just not how you behave.
Exactly.
Right.
One of the other things I'm doing too. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you may continue.
Okay. No, one of the things I'm doing too is really inquiring about their business and say, how can your business benefit me? Can I pick your brain about what you do?
Yeah.
And so that's some of the things. And the gentleman I mentioned, Jordan Adler, he's way up in a company called Send Out Cards. They've renamed the Greener still, but so obviously he went on one of my trips. So I said, I'm signing up, Jordan. I love you. You came on.
Yeah.
But
it's a great product, by the way.
Yeah. But one of the things that, because I try to stay active in that as well. And one of the things that we're doing is reaching out to internet marketers, or online marketers, I should say, and say, hey, I see what you do. Could you tell me more about your product, and maybe take a look at the Send Out Cards page and tell me what you would do better? So then you're showing interest in their business, and who knows, you may hire them for something. You may have them do something for you if it, but it's more of a, I'm interested in what you do. Can you give me some direction? But what can happen is they say, what are you doing with this card thing? Maybe it'll work for me, but you're not saying, hey, sign up for my card thing.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is tell me how I can do it better. And if it's meant to be, they may be interested in, and then it's meant to be, what do you do in aviation? Well, there may be something, so it's more like, I guess I want to say it's more of a meant to be strategy I'm using.
Right. And the whole seek first to understand, Stephen Covey principle, I think falls into this really well.
Right.
I don't know that Grant Cardone went really deep into the, because a lot of this is so effort, driven and things like that. I think it can come across the wrong way if people misinterpret it or maybe take it too far and come off as abrasive or come off as too aggressive. But if you add that into it, where you're seeking first to help or seeking first to understand or putting the other person first, that takes the edge off.
Yeah.
For me, it takes the anxiety off too.
There are some.
Yeah, it's a good way of networking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Some folks really don't like Cardone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's straightforward. He's kind of in your face, and and this is the way it should be. And there is a softer side. I have a little bit of a softer side in some ways, but with any of these events you go to, I like to say it's like you're gathering ingredients for your cake you're going to bake. I'll get a little flour here, a little sugar here, and everything. Now I'm waiting for the recipe.
There you go.
So I'm going to have a really good cake.
He's the leavening, I think, right? He kind of raises you
exactly.
Up.
He just pumps it up.
Well, it's made these events much more enjoyable because sometimes you go to these and say, well, I did everything they said and it didn't work. Well, maybe not supposed to. You're just supposed to take a piece of that and then build your own thing.
Right.
And so it's much more enjoyable to go into these things when you look at it.
And you have to keep working at it. Nothing happens immediately.
Exactly.
Even a year is probably not going to do it. Like, you've got to change how you work forever, probably.
I agree.
Is what I see that he's saying. you know.
And if you look at his story, not just, I mean, sometimes people speak louder by who they are rather than what they say. And if you look at his story as opposed to, what's coming out of his book, it took him a long time, to go from being a homeless person to be successful. And it takes all of us a long time. I always am talk to my son all the time about how he wants things are just not moving fast enough for him. He's doing all the right stuff and it's just not working yet. And I'm like, dude, you're barely 30.
Yeah. No.
What did you think was going to happen?
You're not ready to retire yet.
Well, I got to tell you, I started this thing I call Start Late, Finish Great, because, I've been an A&P mechanic and I've sold aircraft maintenance and everything. And in some ways, I'm just starting out. I feel like I'm young, but you can start anytime. And if you have the right attitude about it, and it's a little bit less stressful now because, well, what if it doesn't make it? So what? I'm at the end of my career anyway, and I'm ready to have some fun. I got a lot of contacts. Why not? So.
Yeah, I think we need to have fun too.
Yeah, very much.
I'm in the same place you are. I'm all about working still, but I've added having fun into the mix here. Turning these off.
I agree. Well, think about it. How long? Look at the friends we built over the years. And I want to keep going to the shows and seeing my friends that I've built over the years.
Yeah.
And now it's more of a fun thing, especially if I continue my own business and, semi-retire per se. But I mean, it's and now people are so active until they're like 90.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. And, what's interesting is the people who are coming to the NBAA conventions and things like that, just to see their friends and things like that are so much more successful at making connections and selling and everything else than the people who are, there for the first time and they're all great guns and they're loaded for bear and they're handing you their business card and they're all over you,
You have to build relationships
first.
You're much more likely to do business with somebody you consider
I agree.
That you can have some level of trust.
Yeah,
right.
I agree. So, I would say, with that caveat on the 10X rule, as long as you are willing to take 5 years to 10X your business, yes, we're going to 10X this. Yes.
Well, I think the average overnight success is only 25 years or something.
There you go. Right.
There is no success
10X the having fun part too, like not just work, like apply it like other things.
Yeah.
I would like to add something here in our previous experience with the NFTs and the crypto market. They basically, you can say, launched their website, they developed the marketplace, they have done so much on the background. But when it comes to the marketing in the sales side, they are very in a hurry that we should sell it out in a 1 day or 2 day. Oof. So their projects are, you can say, literally, I've done a lot of projects in crypto and the NFTs, but they never, you can say, they fail to understand that things will take some time. Yes. When you come to, you can say, develop something, it takes some time to develop at a certain level. When it comes to sell, it will also take some time to, you can say, in a certain position, you can make your first sale. But they become a hurry and they want their money back as soon as possible. Yeah. And they don't want to develop the communities. They don't want to engage with them. They don't want to, you can say, share their, you can say, profit as well. So they are looking to, you can say, become a rich in a 1 day or overnight. And things also in the real life, if I can share my experience, that when we started as a social media management agency, in-house agency, we all lost our jobs. We don't have any one project in our hand on those times. But now at present, we have successfully completed 60 to 70 projects around the world. So it never comes overnight. It takes 1.5 years to come at that level. And we have some connections now. We have good sales now. But in the real time, as Paul said, that my son is, you can say, saying that things are not working. My subordinates, my team members also on that time, were pushing me a lot. This is not going to work. This is not going to work. We are, you can say, wasting our time. I push them always that we just stay consistent and focused. We will definitely grow. Things takes times and definitely will grow. And right now in that position, I must say that I am a successful, you can say social media manager, and a certain level, not a higher level, and a certain level that we grow and we got some business. But it takes a lot of, you can say, energy, effort, focus, consistency, relationship built up, quality work, everything matters a lot.
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah. And, you may not want to 10 times your business, but you may want to 5 times it. And, it's the same principle and things. So, and you may want to take longer. That's fine too. But I love the fact that we're all kind of making that shift of, why not? Why not be 10 times the size we are now? And what would it take to get from here to there? And, but exactly. I love one other thing, and then we can everybody can share one more thing, and then we'll kind of close out because I know we're running out of time. I think one of my favorite things from this is that success is your duty. The concept that success is your obligation. You are not put here on this earth to be mediocre, and to basically watch TV every night and stay in the same place and see the same people and not inspire anyone and not do any good. You really need to, you are given certain talents and certain networks of people and all of these gifts, and you have to use them. And I've never thought of it that way. I've always thought of, and, a lot of the folks in the community where I live, it's kind of like you want to be modest and you want to,
right.
And let other people shine. And that's true, but not at the expense of, especially for women, you don't want to let other people shine at the expense of using your own gifts and, keeping your mouth shut when you should be helping someone. So I think that was my biggest takeaway from the book. If I had to boil it down to one thing, and maybe we can go around the room and everybody share your one takeaway, and then we'll pitch out, if that's all right. Debbie,
I'm not sure what my one takeaway was because I didn't finish reading the book.
Me too.
But, I agree with the level of effort.
Okay.
If you want to succeed, you have to have a very high level of effort and to thoughtfully, use your effort, not just churning up. I mean, so I agree with that. I have a very high level of effort.
Yeah. Don't decrease your expectations, increase your effort. Yeah.
And figure out how to do something better, like increase your business or do what you do better, make it more productive. I do that all the time, and I totally agree with that.
Right. Exactly.
And one thing I would like to add that I go to the depth of the product or the customers. I ask too many questions. Sometimes I feel resistance from the client side that why you are asking too much. First, I have mentioned them that if I would know about your project or the product, I may be able to deliver at your expectations, what you are expecting from me. So be willing, be open to share your ideas, give them information. So you can say they come out to you. It's not all about you can say sometimes the sales. If you are not getting the sale, but you are getting a good connection, network connections, who comes and say, hello, hi, how are you? I got a lot of information from you. You have a good experience. That matters a lot for me, because everything is not about the business sometimes. So this is also a way of, you can say, succeed in the life as well.
Yeah, it's about people, not about money. Money is secondary to, if you help people succeed, then the money will come.
Building relationships.
Right.
Building relationship. Very.
I'd like to, in one of his books, I can't remember since I've listened to like 3 of his books.
Yeah, they all kind of come together.
He was talking, exactly. He was talking to his uncle, and he told his uncle what he wanted to do. And his uncle said to him, if you can, you must. And it goes along with success is your responsibility. If you can, you must. And the other thing I just want to say is the change of mindset by thinking, and he's hit a good thing when he says 10x. You could say 100x, whatever it is. but we'll think of a certain range because the people in our circle maybe make 200,000. Maybe they make 300,000. So that's your limit. But you need to go way beyond that, in my opinion, and in my goals. I wouldn't share this in every group, but since you guys listen to the book, I mean, I've got goals of, hey, $100 million portfolio and $1 billion portfolio. But that means that can happen with real estate and things like that. Doesn't mean cash. You know, so you start building things in real estate. In fact, I'm looking at office space right now, which I would have never done before. If I, maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't. But, on some of our businesses, as we're, in business together, you might need some property that makes money. Whether it's a multi-level, apartment complex, or I know office space isn't as hot now, but if they've got long-term agreements there and it's for sale, then then you're looking at income in other ways that can enhance your business, and obviously it makes more contact. Anyway, so for my takeaway is think bigger, and if you can, you must.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I love that, and I love the fact that you combine aviation with other things, aviation with blockchain, aviation with NFTs, aviation, and think in terms of those combinations. That's another way to 10x, to add something to it. All right. Well, let's go ahead and pitch out, and then we'll close out for today. And I'll stay on if anybody has any questions or anything like that. But I'm Paula Williams, AVCI. We help aviation companies sell more of their products and services.
I'm Debbie Murphy with Jet Brokers. We help our clients buy and sell jets.
I'm Eli Stepp, BizAvJets Aviation Consulting and BizAvJets USA Magazine, and we accept advertisements.
Absolutely.
My name is Ali. I am a freelancer, and we are doing social media management, and we have in-house social media management team. Feel free to connect us anytime.
Ali, feel free to reach out to me. We might be able to collaborate.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
You guys have a lovely afternoon. And,
yes. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Take care. Thanks for handling it. Thanks for the invite.
You're very welcome.